Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Zoronden, Heart of the Swarm, cast, whatever that thing is. Let's check out today's combatants. In the top left corner, coming in the red Protoss, is going to be Apophysis Emperor. And coming in the red, the blue Terran, UCAP's own Spoink. I believe it's Spoink. It could be Spoink, but I think it's Spoink. And, he's got that nice skull emblem unlocked. I like that one. Does Emperor have anything? I think that's one of the unlockable ones. It's not very interesting, though. That's for sure. Anyways, should be a fun matchup. These two guys, I believe, are masters. Bring up that production tab for us. And we'll see how these two guys go head-to-head here. And should be a lot of fun today. As you've noticed, I've been doing a few less casts lately. That is because I'm doing the Heart of the Swarm Let's Play. As soon as that is done, I will go back to casting 2 games every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Just stick around for that. And I do want to get back to doing pro cast Saturdays. Unfortunately, I'm having trouble finding any pro replays that aren't from the beta for some reason. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. A lot of the replay sites are really just junk right now. So again, not really sure what's up with that. I will continue to watch them, see if anything comes of that, and hopefully it will. But we'll just see what the future holds for that scene. AVG does not need to install something right now. It can wait till I'm done. Sorry about that. So nice little scout coming out by Emperor. Gonna get right in to see everything he wants to see. Obviously the one gas coming up. Nothing too important to discover. He does of course see that there's no fast expand or anything like that just yet. And Emperor himself has not yet done that. However, both players, well, not both players. Spoink saving up quite a few creds, so he's probably going to be grabbing that command center right about now. And if Emperor wants, he might be able to put that block in there. Oh, but we did have purchase of the orbital command going down there. That is, of course, prototypical, so nothing too out of the ordinary, really. Just going to have to watch that. There we go. That fixed that. If you have it on windowed mode, every once in a while, if you click out of the screen, it will break the edges of the game. So if you are in-game and you just push the Windows button, it will fix that and you'll be stuck inside the single screen again. So that's a nice little trick you can use to use windowed mode when you do play. So I do prefer that because of all my editing software, recording software rather. I use them to bump out and get them going and then bump back in. A lot of the times if you minimize StarCraft, it does like to crash. So it's kind of the state of the game, I guess it is. Emperor happy with his little guy patrolling here. Going to do that to, I guess, know when a push out happens. Of course, the Marine pops down and does scare him off. He's not going to be able to stay in there. Ooh, and the Reaper. I don't know if that was a reveal of the Reaper or not. But he did pop back and kill that probe. And he is going to head up north and going to attempt to do some damage up here. One Reaper is going to be hard to do any real damage with. He's obviously going to try, but it takes 3-4 shots to kill an SCV. Oh, and with the Stalker there already, that Reaper is not really going to accomplish anything. He can do a little harass on the Zealot, but it wasn't going to accomplish much. So he's going to get out of there, go home, fight another day. Or maybe sit there and wait for a few reinforcements. I don't think there's more Reapers on the way. No, there aren't. There's plenty of Marines, that's for sure. Using that reactor to get out plenty of Marines. However, it has been a straight to Stargate tech for Emperor. We are definitely going to see something come out of him really fastly. Probably a skill rate rush. And, of course, that is going to be revealed as Spoink gets up here and uses his Reaper as a scout. He's going to have to be careful. This mothership core is definitely going to cause some issues for him. And he's just going to stand and fight and lose that Reaper. Not something I necessarily recommend, but his choice today was to do that. We do have the expansion coming down for Emperor. Ooh, Oracles. Oracles. I keep forgetting about Oracles. Oracles are kind of the new rush unit for Protoss instead of that skill ray. Because the Oracle can get down there and kill so many units, even Marines, very quickly with its little charge beam. So that is what we're going to be seeing here, and I like that. Like seeing a little bit of Sky Toss, like seeing a little bit of Oracle play. We'll keep a close eye on that, as I suspect he'll move out with two. Two Oracles are just super deadly. That can really be a problem for anybody facing them. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some turrets or something go up for Spoink. He obviously scouted that Stargate, and if he's used to any kind of the Oracle rush, I would expect him to push those out. But we don't even see an eBay on the field at the moment, so nothing of that sort just yet. We do have some Widow Mines on the way, as few tech labs coming out as well. So just kind of continuing to do his own build, it seems, here. And we'll have to see how that goes. In the meantime, the two Oracles have moved out. They're moving across the field and going to be giving Spoink some problems here soon if he does not react. He obviously has quite a few Marines on the field, but no stim yet. And I don't know. He does have at least one Widow Mine in here. Do not know if one Widow Mine shot. It does. One Widow Mine shot does kill an Oracle. So considerable damage there done, as suddenly Emperor's attack is down by 50%. And the Marine's going to move in, and that Oracle is going to get out of there. It definitely cannot take on 6 Marines. Oracles can take on, I think, 4, maybe 5 Marines, but they cannot take on 7. And it was damaged because of the Widow Mine's missile. What is that missile called? We don't know. It doesn't have a name. So that does a lot of damage, splash damage as well. So the Oracle going to get out of there, live to fight another day. Of course, it could have come over here, probably caused some considerable damage. Problem is, Emperor did not know if there was an Oracle or a Widow Mine over there as well, so he just opted to keep that Oracle alive for now. And it does not look like Emperor is going to continue with Stargate production, at least for now, as he has 3 gates up, as well as a Twilight Council on the way, in fact, just about finishing. Bile Ball getting pretty big for Spoink. I would suspect that is a Stargate. Indeed it is. Medevac's going to be coming out for him. Wants to be able to heal that. Here comes the Oracle. Going to run into the wrong position. Oof. Barely gets out of there. Did manage to do nothing to that bunker, as Spoink decided to salvage it. I was thinking he killed it somehow with some sort of instant cast, but that's not a thing. So he did get an Envision down, though, so he's going to know where all these troops are for quite a while. How long is Envision? I don't actually know. Let's see. Envision, 60 seconds. So 60 in-game seconds. That's not too bad. I was thinking it was longer than that, so can't really complain about that. The Scouting Factory going to get out there, and the Medevacs are, of course, on the way. They're going to be done very quickly, in fact. And it looks like Spoink might be thinking expansion time, as he is building a command center. That would make sense. Almost decided to take out those rocks, but maybe he thought it was a little too early. And it looks like we might have a push out from him. A couple Widow Mines. And oops, that's you can't do Control F on rocks. Doesn't really do any good to follow a few rocks around the map. They don't tend to move very much. Ooh, that Oracle just misses the mass group. I would suspect that Emperor saw that. Ooh, I switched to a view there. There we go, get off of that. Where did that Oracle go? It turned around, so it probably did spot it. Unfortunately, it gets right into the... Ooh, very well dodging that. And he gets an Envision off on UCAP Spoink's group there. And he's going to know everywhere that is. We do have the cannon ability on the Nexus. What is that called? Photonic Overcharge? Yes, Photonic Overcharge on the Nexus, doing very nice at Mothership. Oh! I was going to say it needs to be careful, and it wasn't. It died. The Photonic Overcharge, though, is shooting off some nice shots, and that is not going to work out for UCAP Spoink. He needs to back out of there. He's taking some massive damage, trying to snipe off a few Oracles. Again, the Dark Templar getting in there, very vulnerable. He could snipe that off. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Spoink's group entirely dead, except for the drop that came up north. Very smart little move there, distracting the main army. The few Widow Mines down there still causing trouble, while his group up here is taking out pylons. Needs to go for the probes. Lots of vulnerable probes, trying to deny the upgrade here, and indeed he does. I'm not sure which upgrade that was, but he definitely did deny it. +1 something. He's going to boost out of there, getting out of there with 7 Marines and a Marauder. Not a bad survival, and he took out a good group of pylons, supply blocking Emperor for now, and going to cause him a little bit of pain in the neck. Going to repower his structures right here. Oh, only one. He kind of missed that gateway, unfortunately for him. And the drop continues. coming back in, going to try and do some damage to these buildings. He should probably be targeting some pylons or units or something. Here come the units. He's going to lift off and not quite boost out of there, but fly away the old-fashioned way in slow motion. A Templar in there almost gets sniped off. The Marines almost stim and go after it. They choose to go for the pylon instead. A better call. Here come the troops from Emperor, and Spoink is forced to retreat yet again. In the meantime, he has macroed up a nice new bio ball that'll be ready to go if this drop decides to return home, which it does seem to be doing, or if it had been deleted. He has, in the meantime, grabbed up a third. He's dropping a bunch of mules there. 3 mules. I thought I saw 4 for a second. The factory, in the meantime, is happy sitting at this watchtower, which it can't activate. Eternally sad. Always alone. Poor little factories can't even activate the Zelnaga watchtowers. Just gotta stare at them longingly. And a third gonna be coming down for Emperor as well as he secures his typical third, where Spoink kind of grabbed the harder to defend third, at least in my opinion. Considering you can blow these rocks up and then blow this rock tower up and do that stuff over there. But not the case for now. He's just going to be happy with the third he's got. His factory is starting to move very methodically towards Emperor. Going to get in there and be like, haha, I can see all your expansion. As it is going to try and land there and block that. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. It is already under construction. In fact, about a quarter of the way there. Not going to happen today. And as we are continuing, this game is... Oops, I lost the production tab at some point. As we are continuing, we do have some ghosts on the field. Cloak coming down for Spoink as well. Some more refineries at his third coming in. Those are going to be very useful as we get into the medium to late game here. Wanting to get some expensive units. And this is a good group of troops moving up here. Unfortunately, they're all envisioned. Emperor is going to very happily know they are all coming, and that is... Oh, those are Archons. I thought those were pylons as well. Still a lot of stuff warping in, a few cannons and some reinforcement pylons. Nice little scan going down there. Spoink's going to know everything that's there. The army did move away, and he's going to fly in here with a quick drop. In fact, it's going to go straight for the main. One Archon gets a blast off. There's a cannon in the way, a few feedbacks, and oh my gosh, only one medevac survives. Going to do its drops. However, a bunch of zealots warp in, and the Marines are going to manage to take out a cannon, but that is going to be it. In fact, the medevac goes down as well, and a very nice quick eye by Emperor stops a drop that could have done a lot of damage and makes it, in fact, only cost 150 minerals. He may have taken out a few zealots, but really that cannon's about all Emperor lost that he cared about, and even that is minimal. We do, in the meantime, have a large bio ball coming up the map here. Oh, it's not moving. I guess I thought it was going to move out, but it just kind of moved down the ramp. That's all. We do have a few Vikings on the field. Unfortunately, I think these are preemptive Vikings. I have not seen a Colossus on the field at all. I suppose he could be building them for the few Void Rays that he has seen. And, of course, the Mothership Core that does lurk about. But really... it just seems like a waste of resources. I would not build that unless you knew those Colossus were on the field. You always want those Colossus to be shot down by the very nice Vikings. But in this case, the Vikings are going to have very limited uses. Of course, he did only build 2, so we'll see how that plays out. It's always a good idea to have at least some sort of spread of units. And, of course, the Ghosts are extremely useful against Protoss when you can EMP those frickin' shields out of the water. Also, EMP cloaked units. Like if he saw this little OBS here, he could EMP that and kill it off because it would uncloak. And it looks like we might be having a huge engagement here. Ghosts going in. Are they going to get any EMPs off? They cloak. The OBS obviously seeing quite a few of them. They go down. Hardly any EMPs got off. A few got off on some Templar, doing some very nice damage. And unfortunately, that takes the bad end of the stick for Spoink. Ooh, a nice storm coming down, and suddenly Spoink's army is extremely weak. I think if Emperor knew how weak that army is, he would definitely engage it. We do now have a Colossus on the field, which makes those Viking that are now dead somewhat useful. We'll see if Spoink produces more of those. In fact, there are 2 more right there. I think he's just... No, he is indeed producing more, so I think he might have saw the Colossus or maybe seen the Colossus tech on the field. In fact, we can check that out. No, yeah, you did. So, being able to reveal the Colossus tech on its way. Spoink, of course, is adjusting to that and is indeed building a few more Vikings. Now up to 4 with... No, not 2 more on the way yet, but he does have a second starport up. Where is that? There it is. So he's going to be able to 4 up Vikings if he wants. He does have 2 out right now, and I would expect a reactor to be coming down on that starport anytime now. Finally going to take out those rocks there. He may chop down the rock tower. Unfortunately, ooh, oh my gosh. I think we need to back up a little bit and see what that was all about. Oh, just the factory landed here, and Spoink is going to, of course, sacrifice that, but it creates a temporary block for Emperor and his 4th, and of course Spoink now knows he has that 4th, so a nice use of that factory. Unfortunately, if Spoink's going to want any more starports, he's going to have to build another factory, so we'll see if that comes down at any point. I would not necessarily expect that. He's pretty much going bile ball right now with, of course, a small regiment of Vikings, and with 2 starports on reactors. Wow, that is a lot more factories coming out of Spoink there. He wants to be able to reinforce his troops very quickly if he loses his bile ball here. So, good grouping of Viking for now. Oh, there's 6. For some reason, I thought I saw 5. Oh, they're kind of stacked there, aren't they? No? Yes? No? I don't know. What? Yeah, they were. They were. I'm saying they were. Whatever. The Ob's going to come back over and get some nice scouting out. Ooh, but Emperor going for a 5th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So, going to be grabbing a 5. So, upping Spoink while Spoink's just sitting on 4. Emperor is indeed going to have 5. And, of course, he's going to need to do that. His main is officially mined out, where Spoink's is not quite yet mined out. Of course, he's been transferring units very nicely. There's just 4 on that base 4 now. The others are... that one's not max, but does have a lot of mules on it, which is something that doesn't necessarily reflect in this number is when you have mules down. And, of course, since mules mine quicker, those resources run out quicker. So, mules, as always, OP and awesome. If only the other races had mules, it would make the game insane. We might be having a drop here. In fact, we might be having a DT drop here as Emperor bringing in this little warp prism. The question is he going to accidentally reveal it? And whoa! That is 3 command centers going down simultaneously. And Emperor is saying no to that. He is building a bunch of zealots. The Vikings very quickly warp in or run in and kill that off. The Ghost going snipe crazy, going to snipe off every single one of those zealots. And only 2 command centers remain. We'll see if Spoink responds by building a 3rd one again, or if he's happy with 2 more. That is a lot of command centers. I'm wondering if he just wants to go orbital crazy, or if he is thinking of expanding Trice. And that would be hard. You'd have to grab this one, and obviously this one, unless you took out, say, that expansion there, which has quite a few cannons on it. I'm kind of surprised at that. Those are some sadly miscued zealots that die basically without doing anything. That Marine's going to get healed up easy. Oh, that medevac's got like 1 hit point on it. Where is it? No, not that one. Yeah, 1 hit point. I'd like to repair those. DT getting just away from the scan, but a nice EMP takes him out. And the main Protoss army going to move in here. Vikings going to move in and get those Colossus. Quite a few Archons going for the Bile Ball. The Ghosts are gone. Did get off some nice EMPs, though, and the Zealots are going to get pretty quickly sauced by the Bile Ball because of those no shields. However, there is still a Colossus up back there. A nice storm going down on Spoink's army. Suddenly, that army is extremely weak. And EMPs and storms forcing both armies to kind of say, ooh, I need to be careful here. These things hurt. And, oh, walking right into those cannons. Almost every single one of the units remaining goes down with a single shot. Archon come in and the remainder of the troops and wipe that up so easily. Not the optimal decision there by Spoink. Unfortunately, or fortunately for him, he is sitting on 2k minerals and has about 80 billion barracks here that he can just regroup up everything very quickly. In fact, holy crap, he is sitting on, what, 13 barracks? That is nuts. I don't know if I've ever seen that many barracks on the field. And a big worker transfer there coming from the natural, which now officially is gone. Mined out before the main of all things. The gas here is exhausted. Needs to get those guys to work. But we're starting to get very deep into this game. And lots and lots of resources being spent. Lots of that good stuff. In fact, let's check out a little bit of that. Of course, Spoink getting a little higher income as is expected. Oh, never mind. He had more resources at the time. That resource tab is pretty worthless as they're all up here. But Emperor actually pulling in a little higher creds at the moment. He does have 3 mining bases at the moment, where Spoink is sitting on 2. And I'm missing an attack. A warp in, I believe, of some Zealots and a DT. A scan goes down. Gonna get those units fairly easily. I think quite a few Bioball units, though, went down for some reason. And he has now gone up here, warped in a few DTs as well. Ghost coming in. He's going to need EMP or at least scan there. That gas is probably not going to be rebuilt. There's only about 200 sitting in there. A few units going down to the DTs as well. I do not know if that was cost-efficient attack, but it is still continuing. DTs and Zealots coming in down to the south at the 3rd as well. An easy Marine kill. Going to take out another one there. Going to engage the main bulk of the army there. And a nice EMP to take out that DT, and that warp prism's going to retreat. And what was I trying to look for? Structures, units lost. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So there we can see a good readout of the units lost and cost here. And of course, the big key here is that Spoink has lost 23,000 mineral or resources worth of units, and Emperor only having lost nearly 15,000. So a little bit in Emperor's favor here so far in this match. And I gotta say, I love it when we get into late game with a lot of the higher level players, and you see the sensor towers coming in. There's a weird bubble where sensor towers kind of tend to disappear and just get pushed later and later and later into the game. But eventually they seem to pop up at every level, and I really like sensor towers. They're a fun little idea, and you can always, of course, see your enemy coming at you. Small engagement there, pretty easily defeated. I don't even think a Marine was lost thanks to the medevacs, and that Marine's going to take its place at that nice sensor tower. We do have an an orbital command rather, coming in to land up here. It is almost full energy. He needs to start using those mules. Of course, I think he's saving up for scans as well, and looks like the other command center went up here and became a planetary Fortod, which we do like. Yeah, I don't expect him to grab that gas again. Not quite worth it. If we got really late in this game and all these bases got mined out, it might be worth something at that point, as it only costs, what, 75 minerals for Terran and Protoss? I've been playing too much Zerg lately. I am losing my knowledge of the other 2 races. So we do have now a 6th coming down for Emperor, and he's definitely cannon happy defending those. Would like to see a few less cannons, maybe some more Zealots or something on the field. Unfortunately, he's supply blocked. I didn't even know that. And not the bad kind. The good kind of supply blocked. Army maxed. And that is a lot of Colossus and a lot of Archons. That is a scary, scary army. And a lot of Templar. Holy crap, 8 Templar. Gosh, there are more Templar than there are Stalkers. Almost more Templar, well, almost more Archons than Zealots. A nuts little army there. But again, that is some powerful, heavy, costly units. And unfortunately for him, if some EMPs went down in here, this army could go down so quickly. I mean, obviously, Archon's EMP'd have 10 hit points. And, whoa! I said he should use some mules. Holy crap, he used some mules. I have never seen anyone at this level drop 16 mules. I freaking love it. You can mine out a base so quickly with 16 mules. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love that he saved up all those mule energies and did that. That is fantastic. And there are still 500 minerals at his main. That is insane. I have never seen a main not mined out at 32 minutes into a game. Obviously, it's just been good control of his units. He's pulled them off, gone to other bases and mined them, and just didn't really leave enough there to get it out, which isn't a big deal. In fact, it could come in handy later. Who the heck knows? He can actually throw a few more SCVs on this base. It's got quite a few minerals left in it. Maybe even some mules as we get later on here. But he is now sitting on 2,200 minerals, which will be coming in very handy, I'm sure. The problem is Emperor has 3,800. And here comes that massive ball by Emperor. He is saying, this is mine. Leave or die. I am going to take it. In fact, I'm going to kill your orbital command probably to You should have run it away sooner. And I think Spoink is just kind of let that orbital to its fate as it kind of floats off here. However, it might just make it. In fact, it is... Oh, yes, it made it. Holy crap, that was close to burning. Still probably could have floated it down here and repaired it really quick if he had been fast on the ball. The thing is, with those mules, he has already about halfway mined out this base here. So, you know, if Emperor continues that pressure and tries to take it, he might do good, but he's been on this base for quite some time and has not anywhere near mined out what Spoink did there. And that is the power of Mass Mule. You can throw so many down and mine out a base so quickly that your enemy just cannot respond. And when you do that on a gold, your economy just explodes. I mean, it obviously does with 16 mules, period. But with that many... And unfortunately for Spoink right now, this is what he has to do. He has to hold these two bases and get some resources out of them. Obviously, everything else he has is starting to dry up. In fact, this third down here, what would have been his third, I guess it's his fourth, is his most resource-valued point right now. So he's going to have some issues with resources here, as right now, these two players are both maxed out. We're just right now sitting up at a kind of farm point right now. Both players are just maxing out their units, getting bigger and better units, sometimes throwing a few away to maybe get some battle cruisers, apparently. That is a mass amount of battle cruisers sitting at currently at 2 weapons, 0. Wait, no, that says 3. What? That's weird. Do battle cruisers automatically come with 3 armor? Maybe I'm totally spacing it. I bet they do. He does not have vehicle plating on any level. Which I like. Vehicle and ship plating are 1 upgrade now for Terran, which is pretty cool. And is this base getting cannon rushed at 36 minutes into the game? I think it might be, which I love. Looks like we might have a massive engagement going on here. Everybody engaging. Oops, I disabled sound. That is not what I want. Huge engagement. A lot of battle cruisers up there trying to do the best. They do take a lot of damage, but it looks like the Emperor's troops have been dissolved entirely. The might of the battlecruiser just blasting through Emperor's army. Suddenly, Emperor lolling a bit as he knows he is in trouble. And you would have died if I attacked. That probably is true. Unfortunately, that did not happen. And it is not luck of Spoink. It is a folly of Emperor. You got to take advantage of the field when you have it. And Emperor is looking to be in serious trouble right now. Spoink not having the resources, though. If this force of troops goes down, Emperor could very easily take this map. He is building his troops up. He is at 151 food count. He needs to keep that coming. He needs to do as many warp ins as he can here before these structures are gone. Spoink doing a very good job of trying to take out the pylons, not allow Emperor to warp in more units. The food count did not, in fact, go up at all since last I said it was, unfortunately. But now Emperor is trying to do a bit of base race. A few reinforcement troops left at home from Spoink. Gonna try and guard that factory there. The Zealot rush, I guess, is happening here at the 37-38 minute mark. Emperor's troops gonna turn around, try to defend, I suppose. You definitely can't go for a base race right now. That would not win it for Emperor. He needs to be throwing more and more gateways down. He does have a good group over here, a few over here. Yeah, okay, he's got plenty of gateways now. He needs to be warping those troops in. He's up to 178 troops, and he's going to make some sort of stand here. A nice blink in, going to try and get under those battle cruisers, do all the damage he possibly can. The Archons trying to get in here, trying to do their damage. Unfortunately, the army of Emperor is just getting liquefied. A nice storm there, not going to be able to do too much against battle cruisers, though. Though feedback is a more powerful weapon against battlecruisers. Unfortunately, all the battlecruisers are pretty low on energy. They have used those Yamato cannons, made good work of them, and they are now going to move into the original third of Emperor, doing so much damage. Archons trying to warp in from those Templar that are left. They're going to get killed pretty easily. Bio units, not very many left. That's about all it is. And GG. In fact, I don't think there was a GG, but GG all the same. Congrats to Spoink. A nice battlecruiser pull-off. probably moving out exactly when he needed to, as he was going to be on the bad end of the stick sooner or later there. Unfortunately, Emperor should have been attacking. When he sits on a 5,000k bank, you need to be doing something with those resources, not just banking them for later. There's no cash for gold here or anything like that. So anyways, congrats to Spoink for sending this game in. It's a little longer game than I like to typically cast, but since I'm doing fewer games lately, I figured I'd do a nice one, a nice longer one, a nice macro game, and first one I've ever done for Spoink as well, so I wanted to make sure I got his game out. Anyways, thanks to Spoink for sending that in. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do thumbs up and subscribe so I can bring you more StarCraft 2. Have fun playing Heart of the Swarm. I know I still am having fun with that, and I will catch all of you on the other side.